him a shot to do what?
And at that point, I said, fuck it, $20 is $20. On this episode, special Wednesday pod, me and Bert, we're going to go over the biggest win in NFL Week 14. And the Eagles' 3-game slide, continuing to slide. And we're going to ask, is it the quarterback or is it the coach? Because that seems to be the biggest point of contention with Eagles fans. And fair or foul, should Travis Kelce retire? That loss, Kansas City, again, another team sliding completely on him. He was awful. So we'll talk about that. Our guy, Shedeur Sanders, finally getting the nod about 14 weeks too late from Cleveland. But hey, no time like the present for Shedeur. The Colts did some voodoo witchcraft and dug up the bones of Philip Rivers and decided to start him at quarterback. I don't know, whatever. It's crazy. And today's a somber note because my New York Mets seemingly are punting on the 2025-26 season. We're just getting rid of all our good players. I don't know what we're doing. And then we will also critique the Winter Classic uniforms. Panthers and Rangers, drop them. As it dawns on me, I don't know if you guys can see the porn that I have in my computer off the reflection of these glasses, but her name's Tiffany Towers. Check her out.
Welcome to Stuff About Sports. Shout out to my cohorts. Give us a shot, network. Show us your support, cause we bring you the heat. Best pot out in these streets, and when it's over, put that shit on repeat.
Sports. What's up, everybody? Welcome to Stuff About Sports. I am the Facebook felon Jerm. That is the prettier Corey Burt, and we are presented by the Give Us a Shot Network, powered by Fast Break Coffee, and sponsored, as always, Burt, by the haters. Shout out to y'all. Shout out to all the first timers, the last timers, especially the long timers. Thank you for rocking with us. Please follow us at Stuff About Sports on the Instagram. Please like and subscribe to our YouTube channel. That thing is growing by the day. We're approaching already 11,000 on Instagram, so that's pretty dope. And then we have a TikTok, the network TikTok at Give Us a Shot Network on the TikTok. The Penn Bulldogs update. Yeah, Penn Bulldogs took another loss yesterday. Made a lot of mistakes on the field. Can't make those mistakes, and I think they'll take a look at the tape and clean it up for next week. So hopefully, Scott, you can't take losses like that, especially big coaching decisions late in the fourth quarter or third period or whatever sport it is that we're talking about. Sometimes it's hard to. It's easy to get momentum. It's hard to keep it. So. You let the momentum slide, and then you end up with the results that the Penn Bulldogs ended up with. And
look, you just got to make sure you play whistle to whistle. That's it. Yeah,
that's it. That's all it is.
110% of your effort out there. That's all you got to do. It's a simple game.
It is a simple game. Not so simple game is the NFL. A lot of good victories. A lot of different results to be played. Bert, who do you think had the biggest win in NFL Week 14?
Ooh, the biggest win? Man, probably Detroit. I think they needed that win, to be completely honest with you. Not without a huge fight, and not also showing that, they continue to struggle defensively. But that was a hard fought battle against the Cowboys too. But for me, they absolutely needed that, especially dropping it to Green Bay on Thanksgiving and then losing the week after, if I'm not mistaken. Yeah. So for me, it had to be a game for them to get back to it in the right direction.
I'm so excited about this episode. I already forgot Bucket of Doom, but we'll get to that in about 2 seconds. My biggest win, of course, goes to the Buffalo Bills. I mean, so I looked at all the scores. I really tried to pick somebody else, but in reality, Buffalo, specifically Josh Allen, had the biggest win for a couple of different reasons. You're keeping pace in the AFC, right? The teams at the top of the AFC, the Patriots, I believe, had a bye week, so they had nothing really going on. But the Broncos beat the Raiders. That wasn't anything special. And then the teams that played in the AFC that are kind of moving up were playing either opponents they should have beaten, or the results weren't like the Texans and Chiefs game where like the Texans winning wasn't a surprise because the way the Chiefs have been and the Texans having the best defense in the league. So the Texans winning there, now how the Chiefs lost is probably a surprise, but I wouldn't call that a big win for Houston. When you talk about the Buffalo Bills and Josh Allen, you're talking about a couple different things. Yes, the Bengals got to be the best 4-9 team in the league. Like a lot of you can't.
Joe Burrow is back, 100%.
Right, you can't look at their record and then just be like, yeah, that's a dog team. Now that Joe Burrow is his second game back, Josh Allen has kind of that Joe Burrow demon, right? Joe Burrow's like one of the few quarterbacks that have come to Buffalo, beat Josh Allen. People were writing the Bills off. The Bills need to keep pace to have a chance to win the AFC East. Still don't think it's probably going to happen just because of math, but if the Bengals would have won that game, it would have been all but over, right? There wouldn't have been any chance. But so now you have Josh Allen, who reminded everybody why he's the NFL MVP, at least last year. He's the first player in NFL history to have 3 seasons of 20-plus touch passes and 10-plus rushing touchdowns. He's also the first player in NFL history to have a passing touchdown and a rushing touchdown in 50 games. Like Josh Allen gets a first player in NFL history pretty much every time he plays. Like that, it's unbelievable. It's sad for him because he has to do all these things for Buffalo to be successful, but it's also very impressive to me why he is probably the best weapon in the NFL. It's like every time we look at it, it's like, oh, Allen's having a down year. But then then after the game, it's like, all right, he leads the league in total touchdowns again. And then he beat the guy who's supposed to own him in the big moments, right? Burrow played great for 3 quarters.
He played awesome.
It's just two bad turnovers
picks on the day. That's it. Yeah.
And they came at the worst times.
100%. And look, we week in, week out, I feel like we say this all the time. I mean, that's the make or break in any game is going to be turnovers for sure. It sounds so obvious to say, but I mean, those two in particular, you can point to and say, that's it. And look, I get you. I think the Bills had a good win for your reasoning, the fact that keeping pace with the other leaders in the AFC. I don't think Houston's win is as big as Kansas City's loss, if that makes sense. To your point, best defense in the NFL, Kansas City has been struggling, and we know this, we can't count out a Kansas City team because you don't know when they're going to decide to turn it on and turn it around. I mean, we're talking about 3-time Super Bowl champions in the last 5 years. So we do know at the core of them and their coaching and Patrick Mahomes and Travis Kelce, we know the type of players and the type of coaching staff they have. So it was a little bit shocking to see the abysmal effort that was put forth by Kansas City. I think there is all sorts of issues, doubt that's creeping into every single nook and cranny in that locker room, as well as all throughout the staff. And almost to the point where you just get the feeling that 50% of the team in the organization has realized, oh shit, we're not going to make the playoffs. We may as well just kind of phone it in. And the other 50% is still trying. And that's what's causing a lot of friction, but it's not looking good for them whatsoever. I want to give you the Bills being the best win, but we have to remember it was as good as Josh Allen was. It was still against a 4-9 Bengals team.
I hear you.
Yeah.
I have to find a way to get my Bills in the show at any cost. So
yeah. I'm sure we will. I would say a shocking win. I'll say, I don't know if the biggest win, but it's got to be the Saints, right? And I think that's kind of the same thing. Are we more disappointed with the Bucks or more impressed by the Saints? And I think I'm more disappointed in the Bucks. Yeah,
the problem is the Bucks are so damaged by injury, but they got good news. Mike Evans is going to be back. McMillan's going to be back next week. So, and then of course Baker's always hurt. He's always playing hurt. So it's like, it's a division game.
That's been his MO year in and year out, though.
And it's also a division game, right? So like you can't, like, I get the records and I get it's the Saints, but division games are always tough, and it can always, I mean, Tom Brady, I don't know if he has a losing record, but out of all his division opponents throughout his dynasty, the Dolphins were the team that always gave him fits, like beat him more than the other teams. It just, shit like that happens from time to time. The Philadelphia Eagles going through, I mean, I don't know, man. It's like it seems like every week it's like, are we really doing this thing again? This thing where we pretend that the quarterback is a victim of circumstance because it's more comfortable than admitting that the guy who is making $255 million could be the issue. And after the game against the Chargers, Bert, we saw the same thing we've been saying with the Eagles the last couple of weeks. Fire Patullo, fire Nick Sirianni. The scheme is stale. Sirianni's lost the room. And look, I get it. It's easy to fire the coordinator. We saw the reports of eggs being thrown at Patullo's house, which is, if you're a grown man throwing eggs at another at a coach's house, like probably go take a walk somewhere. Like it's
Seriously.
crazy. But I watched the Chargers game and I'm looking at I didn't think the play calling was that bad. Jalen Hurts was missing, as usual, receivers, wide open receivers. And there was moments where he seemed to be scared to throw the anticipation throws, play from within the pocket that we expect great quarterbacks to do. He even refused to take checkdowns. Like I was screaming at the team, like Barkley is sitting right there. And he's so scared to take chances that it's hindering, to me, the offense. But what do you think? The Eagles' issues, is it strictly just coaching, play calling, offensive coordinator shit, or is it like, Jalen Hurts has something going on?
Yeah, I think it's both. You can't, and look, we recognize that we're criticizing all this when the Eagles are still sitting at a division leading 8-5. Not to mention, still in contention, if math works out, to potentially take the NFC. The last couple of weeks is when a lot of fans have started to turn. I think it's because half on the abysmal play and the turnover machine that is Jalen Hurts over the past 3 weeks, and the awful play calling. I think you have to look at both. I also think that, Saquon is having a down year by comparison to the year prior, so it is easier to mask the mediocrity that is Jalen Hurts' quarterback skills when you don't have a league leading rusher in front of you. Not to say that he's doing bad. He went for 122 with at least one on Sunday night. So look, for me, it's kind of similar to what I just said about the Chiefs. There's doubt all around. And also, the Philly fan base is just as bad as the New York fan base. The expectation to win, and especially after the dominant season they had last year, is going to be week in and week out. Shit, dude, you were dogging them last year after they were calling for Nick Sirianni's job after week 4 or 5 last year. And look what happened. They turned it around and won the Super Bowl. So, we go through this all the time in a big market that is Philadelphia. So for me, I think it's a healthy combination of both. I just think Jalen Hurts is more exposed this year. I don't know if it's a mental thing that he doubts himself because he does look more unsure and more nervous to make those throws. But honestly, in everybody's eyeballs and our defense, we've seen him make horrible throws. We've seen him underthrow, overthrow, or just straight up miss receivers altogether. And that's what's been obviously leading to the turnovers too. So I don't know if he kind of just relaxed after getting the ring and didn't prepare as much for this season. But look, there's no doubt in my mind that they're still going to be, first off, they're still going to be in the playoffs. And secondly, I do think they're still going to be competitive and a team to watch out for as well. But needless to say, my timeline was blowing up with Philly fans absolutely losing their mind. And it's a thing of beauty. It really is.
I love it. Yeah, and the Philly fans will tell you, like, well, look at his completion percentage against the blitz is actually up this year. Cool, great.
All those nuanced
but when the
stats
pockets,
you're like, okay.
Yeah. But when the pocket is clean and he's holding the ball for 5 seconds, the second highest in the league. Now I think it's like 3 and some change, but it's second highest in the league. And he's refusing to pull the trigger on open crossers because he's waiting for what? A home run, a sure thing. Mm-hmm. That's on the player. That's not on Kevin Patullo. And you pay quarterback money to fix problems, not create them. And right now, the Eagles are paying this guy a premium who needs perfect conditions to function, seemingly. And when those conditions aren't perfect, he's either turning the ball over 5 times in a game. And sorry, Eagles fans, you can't fire the offensive coordinator because it makes you feel better. Like, I don't understand that. It's like you buy a Ferrari, right? It's like buying a Ferrari. But it can't drive in the rain, and has a tape cassette player instead of, you know what I mean? Like, what good is it? You're paying all that money if you have to have it with the perfect road and the perfect conditions to drive it. And that's what the Eagles are doing with Jalen Hurts. So this is a slow bleed thing. Like they need to, I wouldn't call it a full on collapse, but this is not a winning formula. Like it's too late to even turn it around. Like it's just going to go like this until they end up losing in the playoffs. And look, they can go on a run. They have the talent. Nobody's disputing the Eagles' talent, but if these issues have been going on pretty much all season, it's not going to all of a sudden fix itself because they're going to be in the playoffs. Like that's just kind of the way it is. Yeah. Jerm, how many beers have you had tonight? I have had no beers, sir. I have had no beers. I've had 6 energy drinks today. So fucking wired, bro. Fucking wired. All right. Another player team kind of faltering, not doing what we expect them to do is the Kansas City Chiefs.
Yeah.
Bert, actually, before we do Kansas City Chiefs, bucket of doom time. I'm sorry. Let's take a break. Now, I am glad to report, Bert, that everybody in the bucket of doom this week won, except for one person, and that person is Corey. And so it makes me. So when Corey loses, we win.
We all
so
win.
I'm happy about that. Yeah. So you were 8-6. Corey's 6-8. Dwayne Marcus 9-5. I am 10-4. Carl 7-7. Mike 8-6. Ty is 7-7. So picking for week 15. Bert, you have the Miami Dolphins. Oof. A suddenly surging Miami Dolphin team, my man.
Yeah, when they play the Jets.
Oh, they're but that's
they just
four,
played them. Yeah, I don't think
straight.
They're gonna play. Because I'm saying they surge when they play the likes of the Jets, which just.
Oh yeah, no, I got you. I feel you. Corey. Oh my God, Corey with the Buffalo Bills. He can't keep getting away with this. Oh, they play the Patriots though. It's not a.
No, it's not a shoo-in. Yeah.
Yeah, it's not a shoo-in. Dwayne Marcus. The Houston Texans. Me.
Damn.
Oh, the Kansas City Chiefs. I don't know who they're playing, but I might be throwing that shit back. Carl?
They're playing the Chargers.
The Atlanta Falcons. You said who?
They're playing the Chargers.
Oh, yeah, I'm throwing that back. I'm going to throw that back right now before I even go. Actually, I'll finish it off. Mike?
Yeah. Carl had, I'm sorry, what?
Carl had the Falcons. Mike has the Bears. Ty has the Eagles. And my new pick, damn it, Las Vegas Raiders. Fuck.
Throw mine back. I don't like the Dolphins at all.
You don't want the Dolphins? I got you.
Nah.
Washington racial slurs.
Oh, damn it.
Damn.
Against
not a Giants. Good pick. Against your well, all right. Well, listen.
I mean they just put up nothing against Minnesota, so
yeah.
We'll see.
No Zach Ertz too, man. Rest in peace to Zach Ertz's knees. Jesus, that was. I mean. All right, let me text Dwayne Marcus. Let him know that he has the Houston Texans. Huh? No, who does he have? Yeah.
He's got the Texans.
All right, so Kansas City Chiefs. We talked about it.
Yep.
Rough game. Rough game for old boy. It's Kansas City season hasn't really gone the way he wants. So Bert and they've acknowledged the noise, and I get a lot of fans are screaming it's over and the Texans game was bad. Travis Kelce's drop in the fourth quarter, bad. I don't want to use the word liability, so I'll just ask simply, hey, fair or foul, Travis Kelce should retire.
No, I still think he has a good year or two. Now, look, do I think signs are pointing that he might be slowly stepping away? Yeah, but I also think it's a cloud of judgment against like his personal life right now, which certainly isn't fair to him. I also think that a down year for the team isn't a true reflection just on one individual, that is Travis Kelce, because everybody's struggling. But I do still think he's got 1 or 2 years left in him. With that being said, if he decides to walk away from the game, first ballot Hall of Famer all around. No doubt about that. And he's got so much to kind of like, honestly, if he decided to hang it up this year, I honestly think that he would be able to walk away proud. That's an understatement of everything that he's accomplished. However, I don't think he's that. I think he's a competitor through and through. So I think if he's going to go out, he's going to go out on a better season than what they're experiencing right now. I can't point to him and say that he is the reason that they are losing games. I think he's had some bad drops, run some bad routes, but I personally don't think that he is the reason and the cause to all of this. So I'm going to say foul. I don't think so.
So I'm going to say fair, but not because he sucks, because I don't think he sucks. I saw a clip of Stephen A. saying that Kelce should retire and just go be with Taylor Swift. And we're not a celebrity gossip breakdown podcast, but from a football standpoint, what else is he trying to accomplish, right? He's already considered a top 2 tight end of all time, top 3, somewhere in there.
Definitely, he's definitely 2, right under Tony. Yeah.
I believe it. And listen, I'm not going to use the word washed. He's not washed. No. He's just not 28 anymore, right? Like he can't separate from the safeties the way he used to. He's getting bracketed. Those double teams are coming. He doesn't have that burst to make them pay, and they're struggling to score. And it's not just on him. Like who are their receivers? Like, I don't know. Like there's a lot of other things going on behind him. I pulled the EPA per target for Travis Kelce. So their last Super Bowl win that season, Travis Kelce was top 3 against zone coverage. This year, he's 14th. Sandwiched between Noah Fant and a guy I had to look up on the Titans practice squad. He's just he's just older, and Father Time is undefeated. And so is it fair or foul that he needs it? I'm going to go fair. Again, not because he sucks. I think he's still a top 10 tight end in today's NFL. Yeah. But for Travis Kelce, the standard is different. He's got rings. He's got the girl, super rich girl. He's got a media empire with his brother waiting for him. That's like, why is he taking hits from some 22-year-old safety named Kamikaze Lewis? Like, why, go be on Hollywood.
At the end of the day, he's a competitor, man. Like,
man, you need to go out. It's Tiger Woods. Like, you're starting to go out a little sad, and I need you to go out with some dignity. All right. I don't want you to go like Tiger Woods, where we're starting to see more bad golf than we've seen good golf from you. And we're starting to see bad football from Travis Kelce. We need to stop that. Stop that bleeding right now, because this is not a I shouldn't even say Matt Stafford. Not a Philip Rivers situation, right? Philip Rivers needs to win a Super Bowl, to cement his legacy, his career. Your legacy is cemented, Travis. What are you playing for? Competitiveness? We get you're competitive, but you're gonna wreck your knees, or something's gonna tear up, and it's gonna be bad for you. So, switching from something sad, something good, Bert. Shedeur Sanders.
Yeah.
Listen, man, long time coming for our guy Shedeur. It's been. I like to call this the Shedeur stimulus package for the Cleveland Browns. 6 months ago, Shedeur falling to the 5th round.
Yeah.
The I guess I told you so moment for the anti-Deion people. And now he's throwing for 364 yards against the Tennessee Titans. And I get it. Yeah, I know they're 1-11 or whatever they are. But listen, he was great. You can't. Mm-hmm. The Browns need something positive to latch onto. Deshaun Watson, $172 million dead cap hit. Mm-hmm. He's currently rehabbing from his 2nd Achilles tear. The Browns are starting Shedeur, not just because of Spark, but they honestly just can't afford to do anything else. Like the Dylan Gabriel thing's not working, and the team is clearly more motivated when Shedeur's playing. The fans are clearly more into it when Shedeur's playing. And Kevin Stefanski, I don't want to say that you hate Shedeur. I'm not going to say you're a Shedeur hater. You've just been displaying the characteristics that of a Shedeur hater. And now you're backed into a corner, because if Shedeur plays well for the rest of the season, you're going to look like a fucking asshole. And then if he plays bad, people are going to say you set the kid up to fail. So Stefanski's not in a good spot either. I'm not of the mind that I think Stefanski's a good coach. I don't think he is. I think he's a good play caller. I think he's a good coordinator. He's just one of those guys. I never saw what people saw in Kevin Stefanski. But what are your thoughts of Shedeur Sanders starting the rest of the season?
He's got to. I mean, at the very least, just to get his legs under him from an NFL standpoint. I mean, we watched, like you said, dropped in the draft, not really, brushed over, not given a chance. Now has to play, and has shown some bad things, but honestly, a lot of upside here. And this past Sunday certainly proved it. He can throw the long ball, he can make plays. You just want to make sure that you can continue to build around it. And this is honestly what the Browns need. To your point, they're in the hole with Deshaun Watson. They need a good young quarterback to build around. And at the end of the day, what more do you want? He's comes from a football family. He is a competitor through and through. He's a media dream. He's never in the news for anything bad. And when he is, he's apologetic for it. And he takes the time to right the wrong, correct the mistakes. And more than anything, Jerm, we sat here and talked on this podcast about this, like the day after he was drafted. He's going to put in work. He's going out to Cleveland. He's going to the camps. He's interacting with the community. This is who you want to build your franchise around. And I don't know why there has been so much resistance. I think large in part because a lot of individuals just have a dislike for his father, which is completely unfair to him. But what are your other options here? That's my other argument. You have a quarterback showing so much potential, and yet individuals still have an issue with it. It's like, well, who would you rather go with? Like what are we doing here? You guys paid a guy who was being accused of sexual assault, and you basically guaranteed him a boatload of money before he even played a snap for you. And as you said, he's now nursing his second Achilles injury in the last 2 years. So, I mean, honestly, roll with Shedeur, roll with the young buck, and see where it takes you. We're also talking about a franchise that has had, what did we say, how many different quarterbacks over the past 20 years? Yeah. It's been absolutely insane. So there's literally no downside to this. Build around him, get his confidence up, and get him ready for next year.
Yeah, it's funny. Teams didn't draft him because they were scared of the circus, and the Browns, who are literally a circus, need him to be the ringmaster because they mortgaged the tent to pay for Deshaun Watson. And so, the player that the NFL Illuminati's wanted to humble is now the only thing keeping the Browns front office employed and the coach employed. Is he the guy? I don't know. I think he has shown the talent that if you put time and effort and build a roster around him, that he can be a franchise quarterback. And when I say that, I'm not saying like he's the guy to bring you to the Super Bowl. I'm saying a guy that you can win games with and be stable with. I think he's shown the talent he can do that. He's had every chance to throw Stefanski under the bus, and he hasn't done that. For all the times that people said that this guy only cares about himself, he's saying all the right things, doing the right things in the media, from what I can tell. So the Browns, just let it ride, man. Go with Shedeur. What do you like you said, how many quarterbacks have they had? You get the sad jersey that has like 36 names on it. Yeah. Like, you have nothing to lose. Like, put your effort into Shedeur. Don't hedge your bet. That's what I don't want them to do. Just go and see where it takes you, man. Like, and it might be great. It might not work out. I don't know. But what I know is what you've been doing hasn't been working. So try something else. And that something else, for me, is Shedeur.
I think start small, right? Like, if you're expecting the kid to come in and bring you to a Super Bowl, it's likely not going to happen. But put you in a competitive spot to win your division, maybe. Get you the playoff berth that you so desire, 100%. But if you're expecting a miracle, like the second coming of Patrick Mahomes or Tom Brady or, insert epic quarterback here. Like, I don't think you're going to get that immediate return with him, but he's going to be absolutely serviceable. And who knows? He might take you there 100%. And if you don't keep him, I mean, he might be one of these second life quarterbacks that we've seen in Daniel Jones too. So start with, a franchise that has some growing to do, and then immediately go to a better coaching situation, better situation all around, and find yourself in a more competitive position.
My guy Brad Orhood, I think it's the coaching and not the QB. I agree. The Browns,
how many times have we
have
seen that
no
over and over again? Yeah,
right. The Browns don't have any type of standing to say that it's the player, right? They've been fumbling players in situations for years. So they haven't been good. Like Baker was the last thing they had, and so they don't deserve the benefit of the doubt. I'm with you. That's definitely a coaching thing in my estimation. Bert, I mean, after 4 years away, becoming a grandfather, 3 extra kids,
just still insane,
in a high school championship, Philip Rivers is back.
Yeah.
They're practicing, looking terrible, looking 30 pounds heavier than he was when we last saw him.
No one else around. Like, I just,
thank you.
I also don't understand how you can sign a guy or work out a guy like Philip Rivers with just showing you have absolutely zero faith in your quarterback depth, which I get, right? You're in a competitive position, but like,
right.
I mean, I don't want to turn it into this conversation, but I think there are more athletic individuals that have tried out for an NFL within the past 5 years that probably look better than Philip Rivers, but people keep telling us that he's not NFL caliber. So I guess, they didn't want to give Cap a call, but again, maybe they think Philip Rivers fits better in this scheme. Maybe they think he's the guy to do it. I don't get it. I don't, but let's see. I mean, shit, Joe Flacco has somehow managed to stay in the league too. And that's not me trying to talk smack on Joe Flacco. I think he's a serviceable veteran. But to basically work out a guy that hasn't played a snap in 4 or 5 years, like, is there really, this is who you feel confident bringing back?
I had to check the date on my phone to make sure that, I wasn't back in 2020. I thought it was a prank. I thought
it was pre-pandemic, right? Like,
yeah, that's the last time he played was the pandemic. Like and here we are, the Colts in the year of our Lord 2025 are signing 44-year-old Philip Rivers.
The when guys like 44 years old and has grandchildren is also just insane to me. But
insane. I believe his oldest son is older than Riley Leonard, who's the Colts rookie quarterback. Yeah. Which is, I listen, man, the rationale that the Colts are going to feed us or have fed us is that Shane Steichen and Philip Rivers are really good friends. Philip Rivers actually runs the Colts offense for his high school football team that he coaches. And him and Shane Steichen have honestly talked like a lot. And so he already knows the plays. He knows the scheme. He knows what's going on. And so that's the rationale. But I got to imagine that if you're calling a player to play quarterback in the NFL, that they can probably pick up some schemes pretty quickly. Like, you don't need like what is the fact that he knows the plays a bigger advantage than the fact that is he going to be able to take hits? He hasn't played in 5 years. He's overweight. He can't do anything outside the pocket. He's not going to be able to run. Like, why not call Kaepernick if for all that? Why not call Cam Newton? Why not work out a deal with Joe Flacco, who's actively playing, who's taken hits in this year, or any quarterback? I don't understand the notion that this, like, the desperation index has to be high. And I get it, man. Daniel Jones tears his Achilles. It's a tough break. Anthony Richardson doesn't seem to be that guy. He has the orbital fracture. Riley Leonard with his bad knee, and then you sign Brett Rippon. And you have all this stuff, and so you call the guy, the high school football coach. Like, I don't know. Like you said, this is an indictment of the Colts roster, their roster management, and but there has to be a step between Philip Rivers and what you got. Like there has to be a couple steps. And I don't need to get the backup quarterback from OSU from the Steelers. It was that Duck Hodges. There were no, what's his name? No, that's not Duck Hodges. Who's the guy? What's his name? He fought Myles Garrett, right? That's who he's talking about. Yeah. He played this year. Mason Rudolph, is that who it is?
Oh, it might be Mason Rudolph, yeah.
It might be Mason Rudolph. Yeah, get literally anybody, bro. Anybody but anybody. I'm sorry, anybody.
Yeah.
But Philip Rivers. If you would have gave me 100 guesses, to who the Colts could have grabbed, Philip Rivers would not have been one of them. Like that's insane that they're doing this. It's honestly,
who's
it's
in the
insane.
room saying what options do we have?
Yeah.
Looking over all the QBs on your depth chart, and then saying like, just I want to know if you're running through the list. Was he the only one that picked up? Like, who else did they call?
I don't think they called anybody. I think Shane Steichen immediately called Philip Rivers, and Philip Rivers was like, yeah. Like, his wife wasn't like, I don't know, honey. I don't know if you should. Before Christmas, like, he's going to, all right, man. Yeah. When he gets his spine ripped out of his fucking back, like, Will Howard. There we go. I knew that. Will Howard. There we go. Yeah. All right. Listen, when he gets his spine ripped out because he's taking a hit from whoever, Josh Allen Hines, don't say nothing. All right. I'm telling you.
Convince Tom to get out of the booth. You know,
like, I would have called Tom Brady before I called.
I don't
Philip
know if
Rivers.
he can anymore with
I don't know.
Ownership and everything. Yeah, it's probably
there's a lot of red tape, right? Yeah.
If the NFL is going to bend the rules for somebody, it's going to be Tom Brady. So,
100%. That's hilarious. All right, Bert. Switching to baseball.
Yeah.
Kyle Schwarber sticking around. Sticking around Philly for $150 million. Edwin Diaz gets $69 million to go to a team that just won a back-to-back World Series.
Yeah.
What do you think is the bigger move? Schwarber staying in Philly, Edwin Diaz going to LA?
I have to go with Schwarber staying in Philly. He had a career year last year, and despite the fact that he's getting up there in age, he's continuing to put up offense and hit bombs. That's what you want. And look, nothing against Diaz, and I think closers are important, but we're also talking about a team that just won back-to-back World Series. I don't think pitching is their issue necessarily, but now this just makes them even more stacked. So if I'm looking at true value here, it's got to be Schwarber staying with Phil. Hold on. Can you hear me? I don't know why I can't hear you.
Because I'm muted. Oh,
there we go. Okay. I thought I was having a stroke for a second.
Sorry.
I was like,
that was my fault. Yeah, no. I mean, the Phillies paid $150 million for vibes and dingers, man. Like in that ballpark, you can't let him go. And Diaz, listen, the Mets, I'm not sure what the plan is. Diaz obviously has a better idea than both of us.
Mm-hmm.
The difference between what the Mets reportedly offered and what he's taking from the Dodgers is like $18 million for the length of the contract. So not much, $5 million a year. He just wanted to go to LA, man. I'm not mad at him. The Mets, go to LA and join the Death Star and just be the one thing that they need to really shore up what they got going on and be all but assured to at least contend for a World Series, or go fight for your life for a wild card spot in Queens. What's the, you know what I mean? So for $5 million, I get it, man. I really do. It just sucks because the Mets already lost Brandon Nimmo. Edwin Diaz is leaving, the best closer in baseball. We didn't have a lot of stuff to really hang our hats on. And then, of course, you get the Pete Alonso news. So when I see what's the bigger move, for me, the bigger move is Diaz to LA. Because if Schwarber leaves...
worth standpoint?
You said what?
From a team worth standpoint, you think Diaz is worth more to the Mets than Schwarber is to the Phillies?
100%. Because if Philly... Because if Schwarber leaves, the Phillies might take a step back, and they might miss the playoffs. But that's a team story, right? Diaz to the Dodgers is a league story. It shortens the game to 8 innings. Basically, he's all but guaranteed to finish the game. He doesn't have many games that he blows. So again, that's why he's the best closer in baseball. So the Dodgers are only paying $23 million a year for a guy who pitches, 60 innings? That's, I don't know. It's, the Dodgers have just FU money, FU money out the wazoo. And it's,
I mean, with the amount of deferrals, yeah, I mean, they've got room to play with. I think what amazes me, though, is they're not afraid to continue to build on the good things they have, which is just, it's insane to me that you have the likes of, I'll group Steve Cohen and even Hal Steinbrenner in together because, we have the ability to go up, pay the luxury tax. It's fine, but like build around your guys. And the Dodgers have shown that they've done that year over year. I mean, you guys just signed $1 billion player. I'll round up last year. You'd think you'd want the best offensive chance or best chance altogether to win a World Series, at least within the next decade. And it amazes me that they couldn't work out a deal. I don't know if Diaz was looking for something else, if there were management issues there. I mean, an 18 million swing. I mean, say what you want. You're saying he took less to go out to the Dodgers, right? Or more?
Less.
Yeah. So I don't know if he felt that his point in career, he just wants to go to a team that has the better chance in winning and still making a good amount of money. I get that. But I mean, I would think with, obviously on the horizon, the Mets had to know that Pete was probably going to sign somewhere else. You'd think they would try to keep something, if not anything, for them to remain competitive. And I'm not saying that they're going to be an abysmal team. I still think they're going to be good. But I mean, closer is a pretty important position in pitching, and we all know how much it comes down to pitching, especially late in the season. So, yeah, I would have thought they would have made every best effort. But who knows? Maybe they have, look, we're not in the front office, are we, Jerm? So maybe they have their eyes on some other individuals. Maybe you're going to get some other news going on that might turn this whole thing around.
I hope so, because
yeah,
I know this wasn't on the run card, but it's also big Mets news. Pete Alonso leaving New York to go to Baltimore.
Yeah. So now you need a first baseman and a closer. But you signed Devin Williams. Got to be happy about that, right?
I mean, it would have been really nice if we had Devin Williams and Edwin Diaz, but
yeah. Or Devin Williams 2 years ago, as opposed to coming off one of the worst seasons he's had. So
yeah, it was same old Mets, and
yeah.
I saw the same things that a lot of people saw. Cohen's cheap. Stearns is a sleeper agent for the Brewers. How do we lose the face of the franchise to Baltimore? Like it's, I understand the emotional component of all of it, right? I do.
Yeah.
You buy the jersey. The guy has a nickname. He's 53 homers as a rookie. Does, you talk yourself into these guys that they're going to retire and get a statue and be with the team for life.
I don't
But
think that's the game anymore.
it's not. And that's the thing. Paying somebody, like, what is he going to be, 31? Like in a couple of years? Or what is he? Like paying him, however old he is. I think at the end of the contract, he's older. And
he's 31 now.
he's 31 now. You're going to pay him 100.
We just got 5 years, 155, so he'll be 36.
Yeah, you're going to pay him $155 million.
He just turned 31, actually, on Sunday.
Yeah. And I understand. If this was done, if this news just came out and I didn't have all day to really think about it, I probably would have been with a lot of the Mets fans, really angry because, and I think I still am. It's hard to let a generational talent walk. But the more I thought about it, I was like, well, did they? Like, when you look at the aging curve for a first baseman who doesn't provide any elite defensive value, it's not, what are we losing? Like last year he hit 38 homers. His stats were good. It was really good. And here's the thing for Pete Alonso. He went through all this drama a year ago when he was trying to get his contract and he bet on himself. This is the reward for betting on himself. He played really well pretty much all season. So he deserves his money. But again, if you're the Mets who are trying to rebuild and you tried it one way and it didn't work, like, are you getting David Ortiz or are you getting the Ryan Howard extension, right? Like, the Orioles can do this because their entire infield's on rookie contracts. So they have enough money to overpay for vibes and dingers, right? The Mets, don't have that. Like they're trying to build this sustainable model, and you can't do that by giving out legacy contracts to guys because, you know, they won the home run derby in 2019. Sorry, like that's, I understand that. Once my anger subsided because we're losing the good players, but we've had these guys for 7, 8, 9 years, and we haven't won enough. We just haven't won, as you like to point out to me all last season, the second highest payroll in baseball, and to fight for a wild card is pathetic. And it is. Yeah. It is. It absolutely, you are absolutely right. I am not going to sit here and fight you on the fact that the Mets have underachieved when you have Steve Cohen and again, David Stearns went from one of the worst farm systems, we're building one of the best, while trying to compete. You still have your two main stars in Lindor and Soto. Now you're going to have money to kind of fill out the rest of the roster. There's really not much to be that upset about when you really sit down and think about it. Once you take the emotion out of it and think, okay, this is where we're at. I understand, you know, we have to stop doing this every time a team doesn't match the highest bidder. Stop saying Steve Cohen's cheap. He's not cheap. He's just listening. Steve Cohen made a bunch of impulsive buys, and now he's just listening to the president of baseball operations. The Mets are pivoting. They realize that buying the 2024 All-Star team in 2026 doesn't work. So you have to trust the Mets here. You can be mad, burn jerseys, you do all the shit. Like, I get it, but you should never pay for past performance. And I think right now is a good reminder of that for Mets. If I'm the Mets or a Mets fan, it's time to look to the future. We tried it. We had a small window and it didn't work. And let's try to do this thing the right way now.
We'll see. It's not, I mean, look, it's so hard. And look, this is coming from a Yankee fan. So part of me is taking joy in the pain, but the momentum swing from signing Soto into last year to now losing your closer and first baseman, especially after how phenomenal the lineup was last year too. It's just, you know, you're, as Met fans, you're left there with your hands in your pockets. Like, well, what the fuck? Like, what do we do now? Yeah. Like, what's going on? And you hope free agency is good. And Steve Cohen opens up the purse, you know?
Yeah. I literally went from, listen, I don't want to hear about the 19-year-old fucking in Binghamton with the spin rate, high spin rate. I'm angry. Like, no, but I get it, man. I do. I get it. We've tried this thing before, and there was nobody. We weren't gonna have the money. Like, we can't just drop money on players that aren't available to us. It is time to do it a little differently. So, all right, Bert, let's get to the Winter Classic.
That's coming up in a couple of weeks. Can't wait.
It sure is. The Panthers and the Rangers a week ago, 2 weeks ago, dropped the uniforms for the Winter Classic, and me and you love uniform. We love doing uniform talk. Eventually, we're gonna pull up all the Winter Classic uniforms and go through it. I'm really upset we missed the opportunity to do the rivalries. We should have done that, but we didn't. Maybe we'll circle back to the rivalry uniforms once all the teams played with them. All right, so here we are. Ooh, I didn't even put it up. What am I doing? I'm such a bad host. I thought I added it, but I'm gonna add it right now. It would have been really cool if I did it initially, but I'm not that cool. All right. So here we have the New York Rangers. Here we have the Florida Panthers. Yeah. Florida Panthers going back to their leaping lion or panther. I shouldn't say leaping lion, leaping panther. Yeah, because they're the Panthers. And New York Rangers kind of going retro. I will say I was not aware. When I first saw it, I said, man, you know, Rangers kind of went plain. I get it. I get the history, but it's an off-white, like a cream colored white.
I have it hanging up in my closet right now because I don't think I've ever bought a jersey as quick as, and honestly, I know a lot of people dog Fanatics. Shout out to Fanatics. I got it in a day. I ordered it. It arrived the next day. Fits beautifully. Wore it to the game on Saturday when I went with my son. Rangers lost. It's been the story of this year, though. But at least they'll likely lose in style come Winter Classic Day 2. Man, I love it. I love the fact that it's off-white. I love the classic look to it. to me, this is a reverse of, it's a centennial season for the original six, including the Rangers. So they have their centennial jerseys that they're actually wearing tonight against the Blackhawks in the centennial matchup. It's that centennial blue that you see in the striping. That's what they have as their home centennial jerseys. Just that's their solid color with like the white, or it's more of like a cream and a red, kind of the opposite of what you see here, except it says Rangers in the diagonal instead of New York. I love the fact that it says New York. I love how that centennial blue pops, not just on the striping, but in the lettering as well. And then that cherry red too around the collar, honestly, is the icing on the cake for me. It's a dope design. I love the way it looks and stands out against the other colors as well. And then that NYR apple patch too, man,
Yeah,
Big
that's
Apple.
sick.
I was a sucker for that the second I saw it. The Winter Classic patch is cool as well. It's not in these photos. It's on the other shoulder. It's got like this electrified, like, your usual Miami hot pink vibe to it.
Yeah, well, Miami Vice.
But man,
Yeah.
yeah, I know a lot of people say, hey, look, it's kind of plain on the Rangers. I get it. It's that classic look, but we're talking about a team that honestly has never really changed up their look and have gone too bold or drastic. And I really do appreciate that against the Rangers. I will say, in my list of Rangers outdoor game sweaters, this is still within certainly my top 4, I'll say. Number 1 to me will always be their first Winter Classic sweater. It's still got that cream coloring. It just has an altered shield on the front of it too, which I do like a shield design, but there's something so classic with the coloring on this sweater specifically, which is why I ran out and bought it. I absolutely love the way it looks. And honestly, looking at the Panthers, I think this is so fucking dope for a franchise that's only been alive essentially since the 90s to have a throwback. I say that even though it's, 30 years at this point, but the old school look of the Leaping Panther. So still keeping it with that classic, but that really sharp, you got the shouldering coloring there. I'm not crazy about the stripes in the socks or even along the elbow. I think if you did maybe a more solid color of the socks, you can keep the striping in the elbow. It doesn't look too off. It just reminds me a lot of like the Steelers Bumblebee uniforms that I can't stand.
Yeah.
But the gold pants on these, I think we're calling them gold, or like that kind of mustardish yellow gold that I see there. That just makes everything pop. Dude, I think it's cool. And honestly, for an expansion type franchise that is Florida to have that old school hockey look, this sweater for me, if we're ranking all top Winter Classic sweaters, it's probably within my top 15. It's certainly up there. And I think it's just probably one of the best ways to do it. And I know a lot of people are saying like, oh, New York's playing in an outdoor game again. Why are they playing Florida? It's warm there. Man, we're talking about 2 now larger market teams. I mean, with Florida's success and winning cups back to back, you want to pull in another large market team. So it gets viewership on January 2nd. That's a huge part in it. And look, I think they just nailed it this year. I do. I know a lot of people are dogging the way they look, but I mean, honestly, I think this is exactly what you want to see in an we'll say outdoor game, only because they're playing technically indoors, where the Marlins play. But overall, man, they crush it. I love it.
Yeah, I do enjoy them. I do like I was going to say Cream City because that's what the Bucks call theirs, but I think it's safe. It's very New York Rangers, right?
Yeah, exactly.
I mean, New York is just a classic town. Like I wouldn't expect them to have anything like the Panthers would have, right? Like I just, now you mentioned about where the game is. I get that it's technically indoors, but it is outdoors. Like it's going to be 75 degrees in January in Florida where they're going to be playing, and not exactly sure how they're going to. I'm sure they'll figure it out, but I usually hate these gimmick stuff. I'm not a fan of, me, I'm classic. I think every team should have, you should have your whites, and then your whatever your main color is, and then your alternate secondary color, and maybe a throwback, and that's about it. Like I'm very plain, but these are clean. I like it, man. Like the sun and palm retro thing that the Panthers are trying to do is pretty dope. And then obviously, the Rangers are the Rangers classic squad.
I give them 4 sweaters this year. They got this one, they got their usual blues, their home blues, their away whites, and then they have the Centennial jersey. And honestly, you can throw in a 5th if you throw in the 3rd alternate that they had last year, which is just that dark navy with the shield and like the weird design on the stripes and stuff, which I don't necessarily care for. A lot of
Right.
people like, because I do like more of the classic look, man. And I'm with you. I do think it's partly because my wallet is hurting, but I think we need to stop coming out with new sweaters every year. I think we need to pick a third, keep with it for a couple years, and then when
Yeah,
they do
right.
special games like this, that's fine. But man, we got to give it a rest. I can't keep buying new jerseys every single year. It's insane.
Yo, shout out to DH Gate. I'll buy a jersey every week for $20. Bert, my game ball is going to. I was going to do it to Josh Allen because that's too easy.
Yeah.
I'm going to give my game ball to somebody who I think just deserves his flowers because his season's over. And Bert, I'm going to give my ball to Daniel Deshaun Daquan Dimes. Danny Dimes.
Yeah, that's a good one.
Indiana Jones. Vanilla Vic. White Soul. Charlotte's team captain. Terrible season ending. Probably two season ending. If we're counting out the rest of this season, he's probably not going to play next season either. But he's getting in my game ball because, one, very impressive that he tore his Achilles and still completed the pass. Very underrated part of that story. But the fact that it sucks for him, who was already playing through a hairline fracture of his fibula. He shut a lot of haters up this season. Like I don't know if this has always been him, and the New York Giants just kind of had a different thing going on. Maybe Shane Steichen really is a quarterback whisperer, and the Philip Rivers is going to be all right. I don't know, but Daniel Jones still had to go out there and play the game, and he was very good this year. He was one of the better quarterbacks in the league, and it really sucks to see him go out like this. It probably cost himself a couple $1 million, hundreds of $1 million, in fact, considering that this was the last year of a deal. Are the Colts going to be cool and just give him a shit ton of money, or maybe he does a 1-year thing? I'm not sure how this is going to play out for him in the future. Either way, I just feel like he deserves some props for having a season. You know, he's going to be comeback player of the year. I think. I think he would have deserved it, and I think he would have earned it. Very rare that a player gets comeback player of the year not coming back from injury, right? Literally just being a better player, and that he certainly was. So my game ball is going to go to Daniel Jones.
Nice. My game ball a little bit different this week, a little bit somber, but my game ball is going to go to somebody named Mike Valentino. Mike's not a pro athlete, probably not even a household name at this point, but who Mike is or was a fantastic colleague of mine, an amazing person, and most importantly, a sports fan. Well, not most importantly, amazing person, and most importantly, but he was also a sports fan too. And look, here at Stuff About Sports, we understand that sports is one of the many things that brings people together. And Mike had a love for all things sports, mostly the New York area, Giants, Yankees, Rangers. I think he was a Knicks fan as well. But we mostly shared a commonality with the Giants and the Rangers and the Yankees too. We talked a lot of football. I carried that football love into playing into fantasy football, where he's a part of our league, which was an annual employee league, now an ex-employee league, since we all work in other places too. But above all of that, very recently, Mike was a fighter battling cancer. Unfortunately, Mike passed away on Saturday. He will absolutely be missed. I wish him to rest easy. And for all of his loved ones, you know, my sincerest condolences. He was a fantastic guy and someone that I will personally miss through and through. And look, I say this not to be a downer by any means. I want to certainly do right by Mike and, you know, give him the love that he absolutely deserves for being just an amazing colleague in person to me, as well as everybody that had a chance to interact with him. And just a, you know, friendly reminder that, you know, as much as we worry about a lot of the little things, especially now as we gear up for the holiday season, if you have the luxury of, you know, being around your loved ones, hug them a little bit tighter, you know, enjoy the small moments, because none of us are going to be around forever.
Well said.